Welcome back to AFTV. I'm here with Adam. Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2. Wasn't pretty at times, but got over the line in the end.
Yeah, and absolutely. And as you say, the credentials of a title-winning team are overcoming adversity. And obviously in that first half, terrible pass from Gabriel, very uncharacteristic of him as a player and how good he's been for the last few seasons. Took me back to a game at the Emirates against Fulham where he made a mistake, and I think it was Mitrovic who got in there and scored a goal. It was a very similar sort of thing. But the difference is he came back and he scored a really crucial goal to make it 1-1. And I think the measure of a title-winning side is coming back against adversity and still winning anyway. And I think the fact that they've done that today, again, as you've said and others have said, it makes you even more convinced that this has to be our year. And I think, to be honest, it has to be as well, for a number of reasons. I'm so tired of opposition fans coming out with these chants, these regular labels, bottle jobs, and, Tottenham claiming that they won a major European title. Enough of it now. We need to win our own silverware, and I think this side deserve it. I think they've got the tools there. They've got some really, really top players, and there's no weakness. There's no obvious weakness in this Arsenal side. There's no one you can look at and think, blimey, yeah, I don't rate him. He's prone to making a mistake. Of course, players can make mistakes, but if you look at that side and you look at the subs, you look at the reserves, everybody, is really strong. It's a really strong squad that we've got there. And that makes me very, very confident that we're winning these games, we're grinding it out. Okay, we've been a bit more leaky recently, but look how many injuries we've had. I mean, we didn't have Rice the other day, and we absolutely battered Aston Villa. Emery was left, humiliated, which was fantastic to see. And, we're winning games in different ways when we're not playing brilliantly. Like today, obviously, we made some defensive mistakes, which is not characteristic of what we've been doing this season. But we still won the game. And then obviously you've had games against Fulham away where we've sort of snuck a 1-0 here, a 1-0 there. Same with Everton as well, hard place to go. And you know what? I'm really impressed with this team. I think, what they're doing is absolutely fantastic.
100%. And we spoke about a poor first half. But whatever Arteta said at half-time, and when we saw it against Villa, came out and scored 4 goals, and we saw it again today, much better second half performance.
Absolutely, yeah. The second half was completely different to the first half. The first half was slow, it was arduous, but as you rightly said in your interview, it was 1-1. We weren't down, we weren't losing the game, and obviously that's so important because you've got to stay in there, you've got to hang in there when you're not playing well. I think Arteta gave them, a bit of a tongue lashing in the halftime break, but they needed that and they deserved that. And a title-winning manager can't be too nice either. Yeah. You've got to have a squad that's a bit mean, and you've got to have a manager that knows when to give players an arm around the shoulder and knows when to tell players that's not good enough. And I think the way they came out in the second half, again, is testament to how good a manager Arteta is, because they're coming out in these second halves and playing really much better football. And I think, again, we've seen that in a lot of games this season. We've seen it with Atletico, as you say, Bayern Munich, in these games where we've just done brilliantly. We've just sort of gone through the gears in the second half and, played some really sparkling football and won games single-handedly in a 10-15 minute spell. If we can keep doing that, then, we've got players coming back as well. It's a very exciting time to be an Arsenal fan right now.
Definitely, and one guy that stepped up for sure was Declan Rice in that second half. He was brilliant.
He was absolutely sensational. He was absolutely fantastic. I think, I feel a bit mean saying this about because Odegaard, I love Odegaard, but Rice for me has got such captain material. He just looks like an Arsenal captain, the way he walks around the pitch. Obviously, we've got other players like, Gabriel that fit that model as well. But I think Declan Rice's destiny is to become Arsenal captain. I think as well, that is going to lead us into a really good time in terms of winning further trophies. I hope we win something this season. I think we will. But I think we'll go on with the squad that we've got and actually dominate for the next few seasons, and I think that's very, very exciting. So my personal opinion is he's Arsenal captain. He's Arsenal material through and through, and I'd like to see him given that honour. But at the same time, Odegaard was brilliant today. I do love Odegaard, but I think for me, captain material is definitely Declan Rice.